The weather is very quiet across Newfoundland and Labrador today, perhaps a little too quiet. Fire-wise, basically the exact opposite. This evening's forecast is brought to you by Robotham, Mackay, and Marshall. As of mid to late afternoon, air quality alerts and warnings are still in effect for many areas of eastern Newfoundland as smoke from the Kingston fire and the Martin Lake fire is greatly impacting air quality in many areas. I got this picture this morning. This was taken by Nicole Delaney in Burnt Point, and you can see there the smoke was significantly impacting the air quality this morning. You can likely smell it. It's likely bothering some of you as well. So if you're someone that is sensitive to poor air quality, you have asthma, you're older, potentially pregnant, or maybe you have a small child that you think is going to be sensitive to this, certainly check with your healthcare provider and find a few things you can do to keep yourself and your family safe from the poor air quality that we are seeing. Now, as we look at the satellite imagery taken today, what I want to draw your attention to is this area right here. What you're looking at there, and I'll make this a little bit bigger for you, that is smoke from the Kingston fire, and I'm recording this just before 3:30. We're starting to see a lot of smoke from that fire yet again. Which tells me it is likely burning hot and unfortunately is likely growing to the east as the wind is pushing it from the west to the east. As of earlier today, that fire was about 1,000 hectares in size, and it sounds like there were 3 water bombers on that fire and 3 helicopters as well. And that was from the provincial briefing that was done earlier this morning. This is obviously not what we want to see, but I'm also not surprised to see it either, as it's very dry, it's very warm, and this is likely going to be repeating itself in central near Martin Lake this afternoon in the last couple frames there, and I'll see if I can actually highlight it here for you on the map right here. That's the Martin Lake fire, and that's starting to get a little bit smoky as well, but you can see the scale of it is significantly less than the Kingston fire. So while that fire is going to grow, fortunately, right now, at least, it's not the same size as the Kingston fire. Now, I also know there are a lot of cabin owners down around that area, the Bay d'Espoir Highway, and around Martin Lake. So please, if you know someone down there, hopefully they evacuated. If you haven't got a hold of them, please try to do that. A lot of folks are wondering if we're in a drought. The answer is yes, we are. As we look at this chart right here, it looks like much of Newfoundland is in a D0 drought, with eastern areas being in a D1 drought with an S and an L around it, meaning it's short and both long term. And this is part of the reason that the fire danger is still so high and is going to remain high as long as we're in a dry weather pattern. That's part of the reason that the province issued this fire ban through September 7th. Now, I heard in the briefing today they had several calls last night for bonfires. Please, 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 folks, heed this warning. I know a lot of you like to go camping. I know a lot of you like to have fires, but now is not the time. Any spark could cause another fire, and with resources already being stretched thin, that is the last thing we need right now. So please heed the provincial fire ban. Temperatures this afternoon, low 20s. If the fires weren't around, I'd say it's beautiful. Arguably, I could still say that because for a lot of areas it is, but it's not a beautiful time because we're dealing with these substantial fires. It's warm, it is dry, and it's not going to change. This is just a sampling of a 7-day forecast for eastern Newfoundland. And if eastern Newfoundland is seeing highs in the 30s over the weekend, many areas are going to be similar. Also notice no precipitation in that 7-day forecast through Wednesday. We are in a very prolonged stretch of warm and dry weather. We've already started it, and it's going to persist into next week as a heat dome builds in. This is the exact opposite weather pattern we need right now, but it's the weather pattern we find ourselves in, and we already see evidence of that on the SatRad this afternoon. I mean, there's hardly any precipitation over Ontario, Quebec, and Atlantic Canada. Now, there is expansive cloud cover to the south. That is Tropical Storm Dexter, and inadvertently, sometimes these tropical systems can help intensify ridges as they go past, and that is likely going to happen over the next couple of days. Winds right now gusting 100. This will not pose a threat to Newfoundland and Labrador as it passes south of our offshore waters and ends up well southeast and east of us as we get into Saturday and Sunday. But before that, Obviously, it's just something kind of worth mentioning for the time being. Now, if you want your latest forecast, here we are for tonight across eastern Newfoundland and central and western, well, the whole island really. Lows of 8 to 13 or 14 degrees. Skies are mostly clear. And then for the day tomorrow, you're 30 degrees in central. It's dry, not going to be super breezy, but breezy nonetheless. And then 20s almost everywhere else in Labrador. A cool night on tap, relatively speaking, but temperatures tomorrow mid to upper 20s. We may even get some heat warnings issued by Environment Canada later today. And if not today, then they might be coming, although the overnight lows are a little too low, I think, for a heat warning. Overnights need to stay at or above 16 degrees, and for a lot of us, we're going to be kind of well above that, or excuse me, well below that. If you haven't gotten the app yet, probably a good thing to get. It's how I can communicate very effectively and let you know about the latest goings on with the fires, weather, and whatever else you're looking for from me. But you can also get your forecast. We've got the radar in there, satellite as well. So all good stuff in the app, available on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. Have a very good Wednesday evening, and my next forecast update will be tomorrow morning. Stay safe and follow those guidelines, please.